Game one in the books. Dignitas Challengers take it. Dragku, you did have Cloud9 winning this, so I'm going to throw it to you first. Game one already not going their way. What's going on?
I think Lost walked into a cage, and then, you know, it was hooning time after. But
it was hooning time. There was a lot of hooning time going on in that game. And also, I will say, you had Lost favored in the bot lane, but Spawn got the counter pick in the Draven down there. How much did that change the matchup? As a support player, when you see that locked in, are you panicking right there in that moment if you're Zeyzal?
Somewhat. I think it's still winnable, but as you could see, I think Draven was like up 30 CS in laning phase. And then, yeah, after that, I know top got destroyed, so 5 plates.
So that is something we talked about, Beatdown, going into this one, is the difference in the bot lane might be favored Cloud9, but the solo lanes from Dignitas are really where we're seeing them find a lot of their advantages as well.
Absolutely. When we talk about the individual play from the solo laners, of course, Insanity and Hoon really stepped up in this game, but I also want to highlight how we were talking about, even you, Dragku, mentioned XU, how you think you favor Tomio, but XU really plays for the laners, and that really kind of showed with this Elise. He didn't really make any early kills. That first kill came through, I want to say 8 or 9 minutes into the game, but he used that pressure, affected every part of the map, specifically bot and top, where he was able to deny so much gold, so much experience, and that's part of what allowed this Draven to just start to run away with the game.
And I was worried for a bit there that Diplix was going to get out of control on the LeBlanc, but it didn't actually come to fruition. So I think it on Dignitas to hold that back. The Vigar pick is huge for them, going straight for the full damage. He didn't care to survive as long as possible. He was just trying to blow people up. So that's how game one shook out. Obviously, we'll see how Cloud9 want to adapt going forward. But you might be wondering, now that we've been on screen for a little bit, why we're wearing these hats. Dragku, first off, can you explain what yours is? I don't know if the audience can see.
I have a wolf hat, if anyone can see it.
You got a wolf hat. Yeah, all right, you got the nice little ears on there. I got the crab hat. We have a bunch of hats. We got all kinds of hats. And what we're going to do here is a little segment that we're calling hats. So Beatdown's picked out a couple of replays from that last game. Now, what Dragku and I are going to do is we're going to watch the replay. We're going to put on a hat that we think describes the play, and then try and make Beatdown laugh. Now, if we can make Beatdown laugh, then we win. Or at least if we both make him laugh, he's going to rate the joke, right? Yeah. And we're going to see how this one goes, because Dragku's a bit of a jokester, so we're trying to see how funny he actually is, and if he can make Twitch chat laugh. Usually they just say cringe when we do this stuff.
Not that funny.
All right. Well, now he's being a little more tame about it. All right, Beatdown. So I'm going to pass the reins over to you. Are you ready to go?
I am ready to go. Thank you very much. I got the numbers. I got everything I need. I got my sense of humor ready to go, so there's a lot of pressure on you guys, of course. Cynthia, could you please play clip number 1, and we'll see what you guys have to show us for it.
All right. So again, we don't know what these clips are going to be. All right, so this is
it's the first blood.
Oh, this is first blood. Oh, okay. All right. What are the good ones? What are the good ones here?
Are thinking.
Okay, Dragku, do you have an idea? No, don't spoil what I'm taking. Although they probably can't even hear. All right, do you have your own?
I'm just gonna stay on this one.
You're gonna stay on that one. All right.
All right.
Down, Cynthia. I believe we're ready.
All right. So now let's come back to us. I want to see, and I need both of you to first of all, I need to know the inspiration behind the hat pick. All right, Dragku, I'm gonna start with you. You kept the
no. Okay, we're starting with me because I'm in the chair. Beatdown.
Right,
that's how the rules work.
Yeah.
Well, what do we got?
King shit, Diplex.
All right, good start.
I made him laugh.
Diplex didn't even do anything.
I mean, but the point was the laugh.
All right, what you got? What you got?
Kangas? I'm gonna give that.
You gotta come in with the energy, Dragku.
Yeah, out of 10.
I'm thinking. I don't know. I just got a wolf because I thought I don't know. That's what junglers do. I don't think he should have flashed. But it was still a good gank. Yes.
Are you calling him a dog?
Like the R was gonna always hit because Vega couldn't flash any other direction. He was gonna get hit no matter what. But I don't think Diplex actually did much there. He just survived. So, you know, Kangas won.
Right. I am a big fan of calling my junglers.
How you rating us, Beatdown?
I'm a big fan of calling my junglers dogs, but I don't know. I'm gonna give that one a 6, Dragku. So Kangas, you win that one.
Oh, let's go! Let's go! All
right,
I don't have the advantage of being able to come at players.
All he said was king shit.
Yeah, it's a one-liner. It's a joke.
All that matters.
I made him laugh.
Okay.
That's all you got to do, Dragku. So you don't worry. We got 4 more clips. We have time to catch up. Cynthia, could you play clip number 2, please?
All right, what's going on in this clip? Oh, this is the big ult. He just barely clips him. I want to say this is where Dignitas gets 2 more kills, right? Or at least the team gets 2 more kills here. Oh, man, what's a good one for this?
Oh, man.
Are thinking.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Wow, this is actually way harder than I thought it was gonna be. All right, I'm gonna just commit to the bit. I'm gonna use 2 hats. I'm cheating on this play. I'm using another one as a prop.
I don't know if that was an explicit part of the rules, so you know, it's fine. What do you got, Kangas?
All right. Oh, sweet play. There was no laugh. Damn it. This is supposed to be a honeypot. What you got, Draku?
I got one.
All right, what do you got?
King shit Zazel.
You can't just take my own joke.
No,
That's my one-liner.
He smirked. It was way
He did technically smirk more than mine.
I did smirk, but hold on. So Kangas, not your best
I couldn't remember any Winnie the Pooh lines, so I had to just commit.
Kangas, you get a 6. And,
all right.
Yeah,
cool.
you know, it was all right. Actually, I'm gonna give both of you a 6. Hi.
Thank you.
Both of us a 6.
You got a 6. But Kangas, you're still leading. You have 14. Draku has 12. So you know, Draku,
I'll take it.
You're keeping yourself in this one, but we need some originality, please. So
I think
wait, I thought it was gonna be more funny because I copied him.
No, comedy comes in 3s.
We might be the wrong crowd for that. That's the thing.
Yeah. Although our producer did just message us saying, please stop saying that word. So I think we're gonna. I don't know if we'll be able to do that.
It's in the Aussie blood. So.
It is in the Aussie blood. All right, are we ready for number 3?
Yeah, I think we are. Cynthia, could you play that?
Oh boy, what is it? Oh, this is the hook. Okay. Don't Dignitas lose this play extended though? Isn't this the one that starts off really good for them, but then they kind of get pushed back? I'm trying to remember the whole play now. All right, let's keep watching it. Draku, do you have any idea what's going on?
Diamond piss smurfed here.
Yeah,
that's all I can
we gotta
really
give
say.
him that. Diamond Thresh is kind of crazy.
So Diamond smurfing. Okay. What you gonna go for? Okay, Draku's looking at hats right now. I still have no idea what I want to do for this one. All right, Diamond's got one. Okay, you're gonna go first. All right, I believe we're ready.
All right, let's see. What do you got? Oh, Draku's starting us off. Okay.
Diamond was the captain and he anchor hooked everyone. That's all I can really say.
Okay. Yeah, no,
that was really good.
It was hard, man.
I think that's the best one that we've had so far. All right, well,
Angus, you're gonna have a tough time.
I have to live up to that.
You.
Okay, you know what? Fine, let's just do this.
Oh my god, he has hair.
This has nothing to do with the play. I'm just living out a fantasy of mine. All right, that's all I got.
Oh, well,
Wait, he
Angus,
laughed.
that's a 1.
You did laugh.
No, but it wasn't about the play. Sorry, buddy. So no, that was for Kangas. Draku, I'm gonna give you a 7.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I think that's fair. You had wordplay in that one.
I mean,
I'm the caster. I'm the one.
At least now we know what Kangas looks like with hair. So. You know.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some pictures he can show you. He used to have it not too long ago, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit ago. All right, I think we have time for one more. Let's do one more here before we get ready for Pick Ban.
Let me clap him.
Okay, what's this play? Okay, it starts off with another hook. Oh, this is one that Tomio kind of baits Cloud. Man, I'm watching back these clips now. Oh, this is the Hunan time one, isn't it? Where he survives till like the very end. I bet you the last clip would have been the one where he actually gets on top of Lost. I don't think that's gonna be this clip. This is the one I was thinking of for the last one, where Spawn's kind of in Narnia right now, just taking red buff.
Diplex played this pretty amazing.
Everybody else is just kind of running around, yeah. And then Diplex plays this well, but he does go down at the very end.
Lost stopwatches.
Yeah. He's afraid of spawn autos. He's afraid of the axes, exactly. Yeah, and then Diplex gets around here. Okay. All right. I think I know what I'm doing.
All right, no pressure, Kangas. You're down by 4 points now. Draku does have
no
the
idea what's
opportunity
happening this
to close
one.
it.
I
No,
have
you're
full
doing
confidence
great,
I'm going to bring it
buddy.
back. Do you have any idea?
I have no.
All right, well, pressure's on because I think
Pressure's
mine's a
on.
banger.
This is it. Remember, we need to tone down the Aussie bloodline just a little bit, okay?
While he goes, I'm gonna give mine because then he's got to follow up.
All right, Kangas. What do you got? This is to potentially win and make
All
the
right,
comeback.
Diplex at the very end there. I think you need more protection, mate.
He said mate. He said mate.
That's not what I meant by Aussie blood, so it's fine. But also,
All right,
that's
all
good.
right. What you got, Draku? You got to follow that one up.
I mean, that's
He's got an alien mask on right now. I'm very curious what this is gonna turn into.
Oh, I think I know what this is.
Oh, you can't see. Oh, all right. Well, let's see if we can hear you.
I don't know. I'm just I'm lost because my stopwatch was terrible and everyone else was smurfing the fight. It was very good.
Oh,
fight,
man.
stopwatch.
So you're calling him an alien?
Yeah, I'm calling him an alien.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that's Draku. That's Draku's opinion. All right, beatdown. Who wins? Who wins it?
I mean, saying it's mean, it's kind of mean, so, but it's still kind of funny. I'll give it an 8.
Oh yeah.
All
So that
right.
does
I
mean-
don't even know what he gave mine one.
I gave you a
didn't
9,
see.
Kangas, because the protection
Oh
joke was
no!
funny.
I lose.
But I still win though. I still win.
No, Kangas, you win. Kangas, you win.
Wait, what? What?
Wait,
Kangas
I
win?
thought it was 2
lied.
points
My
behind.
math is terrible. My math is terrible. Draku, you do win.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kangas, needed more than
All
that.
right, well done, Draku. Well done,
Good
Draku.
job.
Well, we got a little bit of time before we get ready for pick and ban to pick up for game number 2. So I want to take this opportunity to reframe going in. Obviously, that was our thoughts expressed artistically through hats. Draku, what about through your big brain? What do you expect going into game 2 for Cloud9 as they're trying to bounce back now and get a win against Dignitas?
My brain's pretty small, but I hope C9 can take the next game so I don't get trapped in predictions.
All right, well, that's our thoughts. We're going to throw it over to the casters to get ready for game number 2. Take it away, guys.
Look, Draku. The line is if you're wearing the alien mask, not even human, okay? Use that one next time.
Oh my goodness. All right, just had to get that one in. But I can appreciate a little bit of the halftime show we had going on from the squad. But now we're getting ready to get into our second game. That's where we have to refocus a little bit back into what we exactly saw from game number 1. Because it was Dignitas who, right out of the gate, came out swinging, drafted a very aggressive composition with an insurance policy in mid lane. And while we didn't see many kills going over, pressure around the map was the biggest thing. And they kept that up the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, Dignitas, we praise them so much for their ability to play a variety of different styles. I already threw out one right off the bat. And if it's working, you don't necessarily need to change it up as we're already getting into the second game. It is worth noting they have swapped sides, and I'm expecting a lot more AD carry bans based on what we saw yesterday against Team Liquid.
So we do have that Varus ban for Cloud9 on that blue side this time around. The Xayah ban, actually, on that red side yet again.
Also, I mean, unique to point out that for Dignitas, the Varus and the Caitlyn bans do hit Diamond as well, as Diamond has still been playing those marksman supports. He's even played Ashe in this tournament on this patch, so something that we will have to look out for moving forward. My eyes, though, I was about to say, they go towards the Elise. If you want to take Elise off the table, that's fine. I think we're to see a very similar identity from C9 with, I expect Zeri, Rakan, Maokai, likely a Zeri first pick. That's what we've seen
Zeri,
C9
really?
running
Over
this
Rakan?
entire tournament. Yeah, I mean, they did it all of yesterday.
I think they did second rotation it, I guess.
Yeah, so
Now, I will wonder, because we already get the Vi taken off, obviously very, very strong meta pick right now, the Annie as well. There you go. I guess the answer has been brought as Zeri is the first pick for Cloud9.
Oh, Jacket's off!
He's getting ready. And then now we're going right back to something that worked so well for Spawn last game in this Draven, but we also have the Wukong for XU.
Yeah, and we've seen this Wukong have a ton of success previously in the split. We already know that this champion is so good at getting the engages off onto a lot of priority targets, right? It is one of the answers that you can use. It's not going to have the same guaranteed lockdown, but it's nearly guaranteed coming up from the Monkey.
And I mean, a big thing, we saw the impact that Elise had on that early game. Were kills found? No. But the amount of gold that Elise enabled the rest of her laners to pick up was really big. And I think that was something that was really unique, as, speaking of unique, this does force a support to be taken by Dignitas or a top laner to match for Nectin. So now Fake God, you gotta imagine he's gonna have a couple bans to protect himself. If you're going up against Toon, you could take away that Gnar. Yeah, that's a big one. I expect, and then maybe we see consideration of Rumble being taken away. But the snap engage early from Dignitas, Wukong plus Rakan, really good combo to try and find that Zeri.
Great stuff coming through to really lock down Zeri. But we're also seeing Tomu return to trees, going back into the forest. Is going to be the Maokai yet again coming through. So lots of potential ways to stop any engages. One of the big things that I always look at with Rakan and the Wukong as well is how well do they actually go for flanks. Dignitas have been quite good at a lot of these front to backs, a lot of more traditional setups, but it's not necessarily the opportunity for XU to be as effective as Mir was yesterday.
I gotta say, I know they're gonna throw some bans at Hoon to protect Renekton in this matchup, but think of how many champions you can play into the Croc at this point. I mean, we've seen Hoon, he's played Gragas, he's played the Cassante matchup. We know his Gnar is really good. We're expecting that Gnar to be banned here. You could even play Rumble and just get pushed early and go from there. There's Ornn as well. I am still surprised they're investing bans into Hoon. I think it really speaks to how much respect C9 has for Hoon in this tournament, and because of that, it has opened up Dignitas to take a support instead of a top laner there, take the Rakan and ban out the 2 counters we have seen most commonly played into Rakan in this tournament.
So we already see the Nautilus that already taken off by Dignitas, as well as that Renata. We also have the Kennen from Cloud9, and as you had said, maybe that expected Gnar ban here, but it's actually the Vigar, the Insanity pick from last game that gets the focus in second phase.
Gnar. Yeah, here comes Gnar. I mean, it's Maokai plus Renekton. It's Hoon's best, most comfortable champion. Hell, he even took the winter jacket off for this one, so we know he's warmed up.
This is where he takes the husky skin, too. That is the Hey, that would be an interesting one that sets up some late game scaling for Dignitas. We'll see if they actually do lock it in. It is.
I gotta say, I mean, point and click call from Maokai. They're like, all right, you get the root, we get the Forge God, right? So, I mean, something to match those
Trees,
river
fire.
ultimates.
Which one works?
And the execute again on the Zeri. This is more chain CC if Hoon times it up well. We've seen Ornn and Renekton a lot. Yes, you get neutralized, or you can neutralize the matchup. You do gracefully lose early, but you can bounce back. And Hoon's been our best laner, so we got to expect for him to play this matchup out all right, too.
It's also worth noting that this is Hoon's first time playing this the entire split. But we also know that Diplex has played a lot of unique champions so far in the playoffs thus far, and it is going to be the second game, I believe, of Swain coming through. And there's a lot of melee champions, actually. This Swain gets a lot of potential value if Cloud9 doesn't get their AD carry blown up instantly.
And it fits so well into the style that we know from them. They had so many crazy sustained fights yesterday because of that Swain, and now they're adding to that twofold with the Soraka pick.
I love the Soraka pick this game. You can chain it with Maokai, you can chain it with Swain. Renekton could even hop in to turn that silence into a root. And I think the big thing for Swain, it's that if Swain gets behind, he's paper. All he's here is to do damage and soak up soak damage, right? But if he doesn't, then Swain can be a monster. We saw Diplex Swain go off in the last game, but Insanity with that Acel, that does give them that late game.
Wow.
You can outrange everything.
This is a really cool pivot coming through from Dignitas, right? They were so focused on all of this dive. They still have a lot of dive, but bringing the Aurelion Soul at the last pick coming through here, it's going to do totally fine into the Swain. It's going to have so much range on everything. It is actually untouchable by the 40-minute mark by the entire Cloud9 composition. This is going to be Dignitas. They have a ton of bridges in order to get themselves to Ornn and the Aurelion Soul taking over the game.
Coming into the day, this was Insanity's most played in the tournament. 3 plays, 3 wins, and it adds to the Wombo combo on that Zeri. You can also buy a lot of space away from that Swain. You can match the Rylai's, and as you get the stacks, you do outrange everything. So I think with that 5 pick, Dignitas actually did a nice job of rounding out their composition.
And there were so many highlight reel plays from Insanity's Aurelion Soul already this split. That is the craziest thing, is you get this late game scaler, you get this proficiency for Dignitas that they've seen so well. And we have a second game underway for our grand finals of the NACL, and Dignitas maybe looking to step up 2-0 in this one, but Cloud9 want to bounce back.
And we got to ask the question, there's a lot of healing coming out from Cloud9. Who's the Grievous Wounds?
Ooh.
I actually don't like it on any of these champions. That's the crazy thing. Like, I guess XU. It is worth noting, though, that with the 800 gold items, the first Grievous Wounds set does become a lot more valuable, but you need it so bad.
You could Purifier on Rakan.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's actually a spot where the tough thing might be Insanity, who actually has to build it. The Moan, who's most able to consistently put it across the entire team. And so I actually feel like that is one hole that Dignitas might find themselves in. We'll see who actually ends up building it. But for now, again, can Fake God actually build a lead against this Ornn? It is going to be a tough spot, but we have seen that this was a core point of the way that Dignitas won their last matchup.
And I think that especially the early focus here, we're looking at the starts like we did last game, especially in a little bit of a different sense for XU on the Wukong. Still want to see some activity, obviously, but I think we're going to be seeing so much focus down towards mid, down towards bot, and Hoon will be on an island yet again.
I mean, we do have each jungler at least going bot to top with the clear. I mean, Maokai, Renekton, pretty deadly combo, a lot of CC that can come in to help the Maokai get a gank. But also, I will say, you can gank for Ornn early. Ornn has some pretty insane base damage and a lot of gank
The
setup.
clap.
Yeah, so, I mean, if we see things get involved topside, I mean, Renekton usually likes that. He likes when champs jump into him. But, I mean, if Hoon can lane well, maybe set something up. We'll see if Fake God can overcome some of the demons that he faced from that round 1 matchup where he said that, you know, Hoon got the best of him. He needed to step up if C9 wanted to walk away with the win today.
Yeah, I just want it to be known that the color caster is the one looking like a monkey with symbols when he said the clap. It is staying in character overall, but we do see that Tomio is going to be the first one coming down towards the bottom side of the map as they clear up the Krug, trying to block out. Yeah, trying to block out any potential dives coming through from XU. Tomio is already here, but Tomio doesn't know exactly where XU is. They will spot him out as they do start the Raptors, and you instantly see Tomio say, maybe we don't stick around.
And you do wonder if they're going to be able to play off the aggression that's already been played by Spawn and Diamond in that bottom lane so far. But the big thing from last game was there was no real cash-in from Spawn until later on in the game. It came out to not matter that much. I don't see that renewed focus here.
Nice dog.
Yeah, Spawn did just ward over the wall to spot the Maokai. I don't know if he spotted Maokai or not, but it does mean that Tomio is going to delay his clear a bit. They fish for the E-mid. That's going to be it for Tomio. So Tomio setting himself a little bit behind for the laners. That's okay on the Maokai, but that was time wasted. That's going to favor XU.
Yeah. It is also worth noting that we haven't talked about it a whole lot. This mid lane matchup, Insanity versus Diplex. I'm so impressed with the fact that Insanity has walked forward multiple times after getting hit with a never move, not getting hit by the Vision of Empire that follows it up. And you're also seeing a lot of mind games too coming through from Insanity, starting up the Breath of Light, then dodging out, not getting all the full damage off of it, but just constantly asking questions of Diplex, like, hey, I'm going to scale.
We get a little bit of 2v2 action bot lane. That will be the tradition down here, but I love this. Oh, that time, you know, maybe Kaz will curse him a little bit. We get a 2v2 in topside that Fake God definitely doesn't want a part of, but maybe actually going back in the Bramble Smash. Not going to be there just yet. Nice pokes from that red buff from Tomio, though. Burning down XU. The 2v2 stays still.
Yeah. This wave stay is really tough for Hoon. There's so many minions here, but Fake God, he's low.
I think Hoon's fine. I think the wave's too big. And actually, Tomio, if he walks up, he's okay. You can see XU is going to wrap around, heal up a little bit with red buff. He's just going to make sure that Hoon can get that next wave in. I will say, because of that skirmish, though, XU lost a little bit too much health. He couldn't take that top crab. So it does go over to Maokai. That is a big deal because Maokai is behind in camp. So that is a big help. Because, again, if XU was able to feast away that crab, maybe another one, clear another camp, he gets a much better base than what he gets now.
But I will say that's already first clear done for XU, and he's coming back onto the map. So now I'm looking for that timer to really be in favor of Dignitas and use that now and maybe try to find a little bit of something for XU.
I actually want to see XU go for the respawn Raptor camp. I think that with Maokai taking that top crab, if he goes straight here, Insanity did just TP back, so they could match the priority, and yeah, we do see XU skipping over everything to hit this. This is really well played by XU.
Yeah, this is definitely a spot. XU has been one of the interesting players to watch. Is looking for even more growth throughout this year. Everybody, love him or hate him, has a strong opinion on this guy. This is one of the things that we have started to see a little bit more from XU, being a little bit more proactive with the places that they can actually go on the map. And Diamond not able to get the stop of the back off, and so both of Cloud9's members will be able to leave. We are saying that Dignitas, they're not having the same kind of success with this Draven this time around. That's probably because XU is not helping out.
Yeah, I'm not going to have that 20-30 CS lead that they were writing home about last game, but it's still a point of pressure to play around for Dignitas. And I think the point of pressure is momentum off of that first game as well, right? And I think when you look at what went well for Dignitas that game, it was a lot of decision-making before fights.
And what also went well was Hoon's laning. And I know that junglers got a little bit involved early, but look at how well Hoon is laning already. He has the Bramble Vest, so they're going to take away some of the healing from Renekton, but he's even in creeps. In this matchup, I think Renekton should be up about 1 plate to 2 plates, and, you know, about 2 waves of CS, you know, by the time the plates fall. Hoon at the moment, he is overperforming where he's supposed to be in that matchup. I think that's a really big deal, again, for Dignitas' Hoon. Yeah. Continuing to show his laning prowess, even in the lane that he's not supposed to win.
Yeah. There have been talks that multiple LCS top laners have been asking to play lanes and 1v1s against Hoon in the past. This guy's laning phase has gotten so much better. We already knew when he came in last year for Dignitas, like, his lane was probably his best point of his gameplay, and seeing that level up even more has been massive for this team.
But also on different champions. Like, that was, I think, something for Hoon. He had a narrow pool. Yeah, like, he was known for the Gnar. We knew he could play some Camille, too. You know, he likes his Kennen. But, this is the first time he's played Ornn. We expect our top laners to be able to play this matchup. Like, if we can play the matchup in solo queue, they should. But no. Okay, hold on.
And not able to hit that grand entrance there. But I love the kind of points you were highlighting on Hoon, because I think obviously he has been one of the strongest players, I feel like, that we've seen kind of glow up in his own right this year. And it's been a really interesting growth from him as a whole, if he wasn't necessarily seen early on in the split.
I mean, Diamond was like, this guy was robbed the most valuable prospect, right? And we felt like it was a regular season award, of course. Jenkins, Haunter were also top laners we thought were really high performers along with Hoon. Hell, even throw Faisal in that conversation from Fear. But Hoon in playoffs, I think he has been the best performing player in playoffs, and Hoon at finals stepping up again today.
Yeah, that would be another Dignitas player. Last split, it was Insanity who popped off. We couldn't afford to give it to him during the regular season, but if you could include the playoffs, as we already see another engage, Diamond's been going for a lot of these, but not actually getting a whole lot off of it.
He's just looking for recon queues to try and sustain Draven back on up. So
it's not Gnar, Josh, all right? Just stop.
What? It's like a
Okay, I guess I can see that going.
I mean, congrats on fitting in a Pokemon reference now. Both games.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
Well done.
As we get to it now, especially, it is, I know we put a lot of praise on the Dignitas Challengers, but I think there's a 1 and 2 conversation between these two teams for a reason. I think Cloud9, before that kind of slip up against Dignitas in that upper finals, was our toughest team to beat. They were the Grim Reaper, even though we had Fierce Cincinnati in our rosters. They were the team to beat.
Big deal. This Rift Herald coming up, of course, Wukong, rather strong point of the game for Wukong, you know, having the Sheen, having level 6 access to that ultimate. But, of course, this is where Renekton really thrives as well. Fake God doesn't have TP to get back. Hoon does not either. But curious to see how these teams decide to play around it, as at the moment is Insanity, who is forced to base, and that could just be a free Rift Herald coming out here for the side of C9.
Definitely looks like it for Cloud9, but going back to the discussion, right, these guys were the team to beat for so much of the regular season. There was a lot of discussion as to which two teams were actually going to make finals, and I would like to point out, boo-boos, haha, Mark, you didn't get their two teams correct in the finals, but we do see our number 1 and number 2. Again, I kind of want to go back to these two teams were kind of a cut above the rest of the entire league. Yes, they had some drops, right? Wildcard were able to take down Cloud9. Dignitas dropped a game to Immortals as well, but they've consistently been able to come back, and this is one of the interesting spots because it feels as though these teams have just been so strong the entire time. And Fake God,
oh, that's clever.
Careful, buddy.
Couple extra tower shots there. Give him a nice warm welcome to the top side, as Tomio is actually visiting up here. Does have that Rift Herald under tow for a quick back.
Yeah, I do want to highlight, you know, not only have these two teams, you know, done so well throughout the season, but also even evolving a bit here. Like Fake God talking about his champ pool into Hoon, how he has a little bit of a different idea of priorities. That Renekton, I mean, I know it's even in the lane, but it did get them that first Rift Herald. We have seen C9, even yesterday against TL. I don't think they got a single first Rift or Dragon in that series. So at least C9, you know, able to utilize some of the prio and the pressure that they have to get something for themselves, but at the moment it is Dignitas using some prio of their own, spotting Tomio on the top side of the map, now able to get into the jungle and take some of his own camps. Well played again from Exi. Yeah.
And even though they haven't gotten any kills either way, we've had a pretty calm and steady early game for both these two teams. I think it's a different kind of approach from Dignitas from that game number 1, and they do have a lot left to kind of rest on. But I love to see these kinds of movements from Diamond, and especially XU, get a little bit of vision ahead, try to put a little bit more focus around protecting this bot lane to some extent for Spawn.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, with Spawn kind of just chilling in this game relative to last game where they were miles and miles ahead, it doesn't feel like this game is really going to be about Spawn at all. It definitely feels as though the way this game has been going is going to be most about Insanity, with the ability to just continue to stack up, has not really been tested, but with neither jungler really creating a whole lot of pressure for either side of the map, as the lanes just continue to move out, it is worth noting Lost and Zeyzal have built up a lead this time.
And I gotta say that we've seen C9 play mostly scaling. But, I mean, you have Ornn plus Aurelion Sol on red side for Dignitas, and they're even right now. Like, they're overperforming where they should be in these lanes. And I think that could be a really big deal for Dignitas moving forward. I think even game state for them, We're going to see how much healing that matters for C9, because this upfront damage, the snap engage from Dig, if it's good, if they can remove a member or two, and Asol's allowed to run the fight, could be a really good setup for Dignitas.
And now we're looking at priorities for Cloud9. They're putting a lot of presence around this bottom side. They still have the Rift Herald to pull down, but there is also a Dragon starting up on the Rift, and you wonder if they want to go ahead and get that second stack underway for themselves. They will drop the Rift Herald here, try to get some plates for loss. There is a nice response waiting in the wings from Dignitas. Charge goes through. Nice flash into the Nature's Grasp there, as C9 actually really expertly done.
Yeah, I mean, Tomio just knocking Diamond right out of the grand entrance, completely nullifies any engage coming through from Diamond, and it should earn them a Dragon.
There was a fight in the top lane. Hoon did trade flash for flash onto Fake God and has the health bar advantage. Fake God does have TP, so he'll get back to catch the wave. But overall, C9, I mean, yeah, really well played by Tomio. Like, no chance for Diamond to get in there as Rakan, and we'll see if Tomio can continue to do that. If he is able to mark Wukong and or Rakan, again, I think denying that snap engage, really big for Swain. If he's allowed to live throughout the first rotation of spells, that's where really the Swain comfort zone.
So Dignitas willing to kind of give over this second Dragon at the moment.
And honestly, see, Diamond should be totally fine. Goes in instead.
Actually gets the engage there. You got the Cyclone following up. Tomio will flash over. Here comes the Comet, but not going to connect. Oh! Some damage there. Though Zazel caught out. No, he goes right back to Diplex. And there is I don't know if they can get him, though. There's two. It's a trade back, though. You got the eye coming down the slow, the drag back, and you're never moving away from Diplex.
Great stuff coming through from Cloud9. Diplex coming right around. We said this champion would have a lot of value. Runs right on in and gets 2 kills right off the bat. Dignitas is going to have a lot more trouble trying to dive into them now.
I think Zazel walking up here was big. The blast cone, I mean, he goes straight up in the air, comes straight down. He didn't want the trampoline. He wanted to get on out of here, as it is a good flash from Tomio.
Oh, so thick.
Yeah. Oh, XU followed him with the knockup. But on the back half, I mean, Swain at this point of the game, it was a couple nights never.
Whoa, Spawn, you're in some trouble, buddy. There's the Bramble Smash back, and it ain't gonna save you today. Diamond is not there to save his ADC. Spawn goes down.
I gotta say, Tomio's really stepping up in this game. The fact he was able to wrap around, find Spawn, he's the one that baited Dignitas into that first fight, and he's been the one controlling the early objectives off of some of the priority that C9 has had. This has not been the look we've seen from C9 so far in this tournament, but it's been a damn good look for them in this game.
Yeah, it's already a huge change coming through from what we were seeing in game 1. Dignitas came in with a massive gold advantage, but it is flipped on its head. And the style, too, is coming out of kills. It's not been the same way that we have been seeing Dignitas build their leads, but as we are already looking at this, we said this game was not going to be about Spawn, it's going to be about Insanity. That has become even more true. Him going down early to Diplex does allow Cloud9 to try and accelerate. They need to find some of these leads. We'll see how many turrets they can get in the next couple minutes.
And you can see already a decent lead given over to Loss, but specifically giving kills to Diplex, I think is so huge. You can have such a big sustained fight with the Swain, but we already saw some of the bright spots when his LeBlanc got a couple kills last game, and they're trying to continue to build off that. And I think Insanity will have stuff to say later on, but right now you're thriving off the strength and the presence that Swain gives from mid lane.
Yeah. Swain has been so crucial in some of the games here for Diplex. It was also super crucial in last summer's finals as well. We saw Harry having some good games with it there. But as we come right on back into this one, we kind of go back, we check into the top lane. We do say that Fake God did get about a play, did get a very small lead. About what we were expecting in the end of it, but still remaining even in terms of the CS. And now as we start paying attention towards the Rift Herald spawning, feels like Cloud9 are there first again.
I mean, the big deal is that Draven lost stacks. Like, that is really big for Spawn, and C9, they still have map control. It's still an Aurelion Soul comp. And we've seen Dignitas. They came back from a 10k gold deficit against FlyQuest in a Game 3 earlier in this tournament with that Aurelion Soul. Insanity, we saw how well he played the Control Mage in the Vygar in Game 1. His A Soul has been really good, and now this game, they might be looking for something.
Oh, he got a nice little engage. That's that combo we were talking about. Fake God's already down. They have 3 members, though. The Demonic Ascension is ticking up. There's the Sky's Descend on the 3 members. You got Fire Breath coming out from Insanity, but Dignitas will back off.
And they're also here in the mid lane. They are already on the inside track. Not going to get the entire turret, though, but still, good stuff from Dignitas.
I really like that from from Dig. I think it shows a lot of control that they have. Of course, Game 1, we saw a very different form of control with how they played around the Vigard cages and the picks. This time around, they have the big AoE ultimates, just playing the fight slow, taking what was in front of them. Some good patience by Dignitas to find a way to be aggressive in a game where they are on the back foot and scaling.
And it's about giving them decisive tools, right? You're already seeing the connection between Insanity and Hoon getting the big engages, getting the big wombo combos, but Diamond is a huge shot caller in this fashion. I think when we saw this team come together, what surprised me the most, what excited me the most, was the amount of brain power it felt like when you come into decision-making, when you come into strategies that this team represented, and it comes all down to that fact that they are here to try to win this grand finals in the way that they want to.
And now they got to set up for this Cloud Dragon, right? I feel as though this Cloud Soul for Cloud9 will be such a massive boost of power for them. They are all so excited with the extra boost of movement speed that they can get in these team fights, and Diamond already here to try and stop them a little bit, but Insanity, he will not have the big ultimate this time. It's just gonna be a little needier, you know, just like not a giant extinction event, just a small one coming through.
Just a small one, just that, you know.
Yeah, just a small extinction.
Couple 100,000 miles of devastation, no big deal. We do have the Rift Herald usage in the mid lane, charging down, trying to take down this tower. We'll take down another outer tower for Cloud9.
I think a big thing that's going to be coming up here is actually going to be Rywise for Aurelion Sol. The Rywise for Swain does allow for so much control over the fights for the side of C9. I think A-Sol being able to match that, continuing to stack range will be big. Fully expect this to be seeded over. Dignitas are waiting for 5 minutes from now, where they have the best chance to win, as A-Sol will have the most time to actually scale up.
Yeah, it really needs a big ultimate to actually make anything happen. That's why we're trading here up on the top side of the map. We're waiting for Ornn items to come through. Dignitas, it is starting to become dicey, but just as we were looking at before, it's teetering on the brink for Cloud9. One more big fight can win them the game.
And there's a 5-minute timer that starts now.
I don't think it's too
Diplex.
Oh my god, the demonic ascension, they've cut out Spawn, he has no mana! And a killing spree for the Cloud9 mid laner!
That's going to be it. It's not going to be breaking the camel's back, but every single bit of gold makes Dignitas' next fight in 5 minutes that much more difficult.
And it does break mid-inner, so more control for C9. I was about to say, I don't think it's a doomsday scenario here for Dignitas, as Aurelion Sol will still be big, and we've seen the impact that A-Sol can have on games, how difficult it is to finish games in A-Sol as well, as he actually tried to TP up there for Solo Guild to keep on playing. He'll have that TP back for Dragon, it's okay. But more gold going over to the side of C9 and Swain. I mean, Leandre Swain, like, you see how big Diplex was in the last game, or yesterday, as you were pointing out. It's gonna be a problem.
It's going to be really tough, right? Dignitas, they have a lot of, like, instant trigger pull tools, but if you only have that one Diplex on this Swain, it's kind of like, yeah, we're chilling here. We just keep on going in these big fights, and so the question will be, does Dignitas have enough in the tank for the second part of the fight? When they time out Diplex, Diplex is no longer this massive point of power. Will Dignitas have enough left over? That was something that Cloud9 was so good at, playing into teams like CLG during the regular season. They would bait out Copy's ultimate on the Swain, and then they would re-engage. Can Dignitas do the same?
It's all about picking apart the fights, those tools, and we saw Dignitas do that so well last game. We said their main idea in game number 1 was try to get picks before big fights, put Cloud9 on the back foot. They're going to need a little bit more of that magic here in this second game.
I also think, I mean, you called out the healing and the issues via Spawn.
Doesn't matter. Spawn is getting caught out. They know exactly where to go every single time. And Spawn, all you got left is Flash, but he's going to use it over the wall to get away for now. Lightning crash and lost. Pulls that trigger. As now they're holding down Dignitas. The guns are blazing here for C9. There's the Ornn back to try to get some space. But are they going to be able to catch down? Never move away. There's a big Skies Descent. And it's doing so much work right now. He's so heavy, but can the Dragon bend the time of reality here? It is Cloud9 that are backing away. XU is on a flank. He doesn't have any tools available, though.
Okay, XU has to get out of here. So that was a big save for Insanity to stop any more bleeding there. But guys, he's probably not going to have Skies Descent for the next fight. That's the one they need to win. They need to win the Cloud Soul. They found Spawn again, and that's a lot of resources Dignitas won't have around the Cloud Soul fight.
And I love what Tomio's doing against the Draven. He did this yesterday against the Draven that Arrow played. It's so tough for Draven to fight against a Maokai with how sticky he is and how much range CC that he has. Draven gets removed immediately, but the way that Dignitas was able to kite this out, I mean, everyone's walking into Ornn, that's great, but this flip, Insanity being here, the big wombo they were able to find, this is so much damage coming out from the Aurelion Sol, a 4-man wombo from Diamond as well. and Dignitas continue to show that they have fight left in them. Yes, they're down 3 dragons. Yes, it's 3k gold. But A-Soul, when he scales, he is the true Elder Dragon on the map. We've seen Insanity do it before. And, I mean, if it goes away, we could see it again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always looking for the David Dwagon diff. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. It is an opportunity. He's still got a lot left to go in order to really ramp up the damage. And so much of that doesn't come from items, right? It comes from the stacks that they build up. And I can't see how close they are to the next time it gets big. But that is going to be a huge build. I mean, he's got it again.
Yeah,
that was so fast.
Was the animation that came through. I love it because we are setting up for a true fantastical battle. We got Demons versus Dragons and Cloud9 versus Dignitas. And we're looking at some setup around the Baron.
He didn't have to pick one for the last fight. That's what it was. He was still stacking it up. He still has it. He can have it for this upcoming Dragon. Dignitas, if they get there first, there are not a lot of champions that can get through the area control that Aurelion Sol provides.
And this is going to be a really interesting fight because since we have the skirmish in the last couple of minutes, look at all the flashes that are down. Critically, Insanity has his intact, but the only flash for C9 is Fake God. Going through a Rywise Aurelion Sol is no easy task, but curiously enough, Dignitas at the moment, we're 40 seconds away from that Dragon. C9, though, like, they're fishing around the Baron. They're trying to push and pull Dignitas around. They don't really have control over that bot side.
And we said there was a 5-minute timer. Well, time is due now. 30 seconds until that Dragon spawn. Do they just want to give this soul away? I would not expect so. And we'll see if their setup does help them.
All right, they did just use Blue Trinket on Baron. That's going to be killed off by C9. There is one left onto spawn that they can use to check Baron. Diamond's going to try and get a ward in there now as Swain is just in the bot side of the river. C9, I think they should clear this next wave again and then dip into the side of the map they want to play.
The beautiful thing here is that Cloud9 have timed this so well. They've been stacking up so well. If they get this Dragon, it's before Hoon has really gotten to get out those items, give those upgrades, give some of that extra scaling to the composition. And now it's Cloud9 trying to find a catch out, but Tomio goes a little bit too deep. Get a lot of damage. There's the skies descend on the 3 members of Cloud9, and that is a way to distract the fight. The Demonic Ascension is down, and Dragons and Demons round 2 is died.
Every ult on Dignitas was burned except for Rakan. Zeri still has ult, which is critical, and I think Dignitas is using that. Hoon has TP, but they're going to try and get C9 to come to the Baron.
They're just going to trade this? Okay.
They could.
Looks like they just burn it down.
They could.
Yeah.
The eyes of the Empire will show them out. It looks like Cloud9 want to fight.
Yep.
And just the breath of light coming through, doing so much damage. Spawn isn't here.
They got a TP on the backside here as well. That will be Fake God joining the fight. Diamond has fought the quickness. Oh! The steal though, Tomio seals the deal. But you got to watch out for Insanity here. Hoon is caught out on the other side. Hoon goes down and Lost is now on a killing spree. As they got the Baron, they got the kills, and now they're looking for more. Should be a back out for Cloud9.
I don't know if they can actually go for the Dragon as XU has Smite. Tomio has to get his back up. Tomio has ult coming back up, and Swain has his back now too. Dignitas still has
it. TT back from Diplex. It's going to be a TT.
There it is.
Zoning though, it's good zoning.
Oh my gosh, that's so big from Cloud9. They got Insanity!
They find it, the engage. There's the Demonic Ascension on the other side, and there ain't no Dragon dip today as Cloud9, they reap the what of they sow, and they find the huge kill. That's a couple more to Lost, and Lost getting all of this gold is actually incredible, but Cloud9 have taken 2 decisive fights, and they'll find XU on the back end here. That's a flash out from the jungler, but that's sold to Cloud9.
Tomio steals for the Master Thief. He gets the 50-50 smite up against Dignitas. That is huge. That's potentially game-ending. They get both the Baron and the Dragon Soul. That's going to be so much extra movement speed coming in here for Cloud9.
Yeah.
Diplex goes nuts. Lost goes nuts. Zazel actually goes nuts. You thought it was fast going around all these low health members? Just give that little bit of extra speed, but the Diplex teleport here is huge. It cuts off any escape for Insanity.
I got to give Diplex a lot of credit, but again, it's Tomio, I think, who is the big difference maker in this game on the Maokai. He's been so sticky for the backline threats of Dignitas as he finds and cuts down the Dragon in this fight. And again, if Swain is allowed to fight on his terms, if you take the damage away early, Diplex just gets to walk forward. So good from C9.
And that's what we highlighted coming to this draft for Cloud9. They love these sustained fights. They love these big 5v5s, these front to backs, and they are able to pick them apart so well. We saw them trying to do that in game number 1, but Dignitas denied them every time. Now they are so well set up. They're 7,000 golden lead. They have got a Baron buff for another minute, and they still have the Elder Dragon buff as well. They will be pushing down this last outer, looking at a tier 2 tower now.
Yeah, well, no Elder, to be fair. It is just a Cloud Soul, but I mean, they're not going to be complaining too hard about that. Dignitas just scrambling to try and defend their own quadrant of the jungle. And this is one of the most frustrating things in the game, trying to play up against Aurelion Sol. Throws down a black hole. Minions can't even get to the turret. We always talk about APA's ability to stall out games with the Ziggs, but now it's Insanity on the Aurelion Sol.
Baron buff minions, though, maybe make them a little bit more steeled to the Baron buff. I mean, still got a lot of damage down, though, there, and another wave will not make it into the turret.
It's Asol's about to get a Seraph's next. It is still Aurelion Sol. This is so... you can see how difficult it is for C9 just to step up and end. Like, Lost doesn't have enough range to get around the E from Asol, which already almost takes up an entire side lane. So it still is Dignitas. I know it's a big deficit. I think it's going to take another Baron and Elder.
Here they go. Here they go.
Going in with the Demonic Cinch. He flashes out of Xyu's engaged. The skies descend, though, and Insanity is still pumping that breath as you still got a lot of damage. Big Gun's already down, and this is a front to back that Dignitas want to take now. They catch an overextended member.
Fake God had the angle, but Hoon and Dignitas were able to peel, so Insanity was able to get out. Again, Insanity was flashless. That was a decent angle from C9 to actually try and find the dragon, but Dignitas band together, and I gotta credit Hoon with that ultimate, the peel that Dig had. They know their job. It's protect the dragon. They did so successfully there.
And the good stuff coming through. I mean, again, whenever we watch this game, so much of this has been about the two mid laners in this game. Diplex went absolutely massive, but they are still on a ticking time bomb. You would think that an 8,000 gold lead is enough to actually go for these dives, but Dignitas turn it right around.
We've seen him come back for more already.
We have.
With the Asol.
We've seen it happen to Cloud9 as well. We saw this yesterday. Team Liquid did this exact thing.
We'll see as item spikes do come across. We do get our third item completed for Lost. That's a big spike for the Zarya, a big spike for the team fights of Cloud9. And the biggest question is now they've been trying to look for picks. They've been trying to find spawn as often as possible, but they also got to make sure that a lot of the vision control around these next objectives comes out in their favor, because you've got to know where Insanity is, and you've got to know where that big wombo combo alley is going to be coming through for Dignitas.
I see you hunting for Ornn items.
Yeah, I was...
What have you come back with, Hunter Cubby?
Well, there's only one on Ornn, and he's level 15. So I think Hoon's got to start giving out some ornaments, you know? Got to be a good teammate here.
Now, Hoon's always been a good side laner. We'll see how gracious he is today, right? I mean, the big thing, you got to give it to Insanity. He is the big carry. You're not going to be getting spawned back into the game very likely. It is so much about Insanity. And so, we see another Skies Descend coming through. 377 Stardust already coming out for the Dragon. And as they start to get ready for another topside defense, Dignitas actually have enough vision control.
I think the big difference for the next fight and what went wrong for C9 or for Dig in the first one was that C9 was able to close the gap. And again, I think a lot of it's on Tomio. The engages have to be clean so that Swang can apply the Rywise, get in range, and they can run down these immobile carries. Dignitas has to utilize Xyu, Hoon to tank that up, but also buy space for Insanity and Spawn to do damage. I think that's the big push and pull that we're going to see. Should see some slower fights, but all eyes are on Tomio to make sure that he continues to find good engages, as Tomio's been having a great game so far.
Yeah, and absolutely so. But the thing is Hoon saving up some of these upgrades, did give that second one to Xyu with the Divine Sunder, but really waiting to give that big extra oomph to Insanity and Spawn as well.
Yeah, and Insanity has had enough time to get another Skies Descend. Things falling out of the sky.
There's a rock! And it's a rock! Me.
It's big! It takes up the entire map, and now Dignitas, they're back in their own base, but this is Dignitas' comfort zone.
It's funny, isn't that like Dragon Master Swain? Isn't that the skin?
It is, yeah.
It is.
All right, so this really is...
Wagon.
This really is an extinction event, you know, coming out if these connect.
If only dragons could rule the world once again, they would find themselves.
Yeah, this is a World of Warcraft.
As we see the engage maybe coming through. To Fake God, he's a little bit low. There is the black hole given out by Insanity. A lot of space, but...
Look at how much space that gives. So we got to talk about both of the potentially game-ending objectives are spawning. The Baron has been up. Elder Dragon spawns in about 30 seconds. And Cloud9, they're the ones with the control on the map.
They're starting it up right now. Already down a quarter health, though. Yeah, as you said, Spawn is not here with the team. Does have that whirling death, though. And Insanity has the trigger pull. We're really looking at the Ornn Horn start for Hoon. They're going to catch him out. There you go, onto all more members here. The skies have descended onto Cloud9 as Diplex trying to save some space. Diplex is healing so much, and he has bought enough time for Cloud9 to tear apart Xyu.
Wow, Xyu going down. Insanity had to use the ultimate. Dignitas not able to chew through the other dragon. That's going to give Cloud9 a lot of space around this next fight. We were talking about how important Grievous Wounds was. They were not enough.
Or not.
Insanity's at half. He has TP. He's trying to save it. But Dignitas, I mean, can they even walk in and check? Soraka's going to be able to top everyone off. The plant's so big for Zeyzal. We have a
so
TP.
much sustain.
Dignitas are seeding.
They have given over the Elder Dragon here to Cloud9. That'll be 5 dragons in a row for C9, and they will continue to use this to go get the objectives.
Yeah, and we got to see, right, Hoon going a little bit farther forward there. Dignitas cannot take aggressive fights easily as long as Diplex has the ultimate up. They tried to fight into a choke point.
I'm amazed. Like, I thought that if any fight was going to happen where they could melt Diplex, it was that one. Diplex didn't even pop Sonya's. He was chilling, man. He was soaking up all the damage as they took down XU on the back half. That sets things up so well for C9 as Elder's theirs, Baron is theirs, and now can they end the game against Zeyzal? Is this enough? That's the real question.
Well, they've got almost a 10,000 gold lead. It has to be at this point. You see a little opt-in as well from some of the members. Diplex already having that sorcery elixir in his pocket, and there's want to...
We've seen crazier things.
We've seen crazier things, but it is now about Cloud9 continuing to pressure up, continue to put the pedal to the metal here. This 10,000 gold lead, this sustained team fight, they can push it up into Dignitas.
I do want to give C9 props. I think one of the big reasons we saw Dignitas topple them in the first meetup was that C9 didn't play enough early games. C9 opt in for more in game 2 after they dropped game 1, and it's been good for them. Now we just have to see, can they wrap things up? They have the Elder. It's halfway through so
Nature's
far.
Grasp catching out XU here, getting lower and lower. There's the Elder Dragon Wings, and Dignitas getting a little bit of payback here. It is the fight between demons and dragons, but Cloud9 have come out on top in both fashions. Demonic Ascension set up by Diplex, but this will be the inhib tower next for Cloud9.
Love Diplex trading flash for flash there with Insanity. I think this is enough. I think that's game.
Yeah, it should be game coming through. I mean, they did a great job waiting for XU to already use the clone. Make sure there's nothing left to actually take up the Nature's Grasp, allow the rest of the team to leave, and they are hitting the Nexus.
And they should be able to find one more kill, maybe on the back end. Couple Elder Dragon buffs still waiting to go. They do find the Nexus, though. They know where the prize lies. And that's game 2 to Cloud9. And we have a series on our hands, gentlemen.
The games looked very similar, honestly, right? Cloud9 starting off with a lot of strength, and that one winning a lot of the early game. The mid game, there is 1 or 2 moments where Dignitas might come back, but they're still able to close it out.
And again, I really want to credit Tomio. I know that, you know, when talking about C9, a lot of it's like, hey, do they have the best spot lane in the league? Their soul lanes, Fake God, Diplex, so tough to take down. A lot of times, you know, Tomio is the one that still is developing, needs to be that player that, you know, C9 are investing a lot of resources in. He was great that game. The fact he was able to snowball so many things on the Draven, reset the stacks on spawn, and then pressure him, take away his summoner spells. I think he was a big difference maker that game, along with Diplex's Swain. Yeah. Really good stuff from C9.
And it was just an execution difference, right? He was still on the Maokai from game 1 to 2, but it was about how he approached the game early on. And we'll have to see if Dignitas can now bounce back after that one. And on the other side of a short break, we'll have another Rally Cry halftime show.
At number 2 on our most valuable prospect list for spring 2023 is Masu. Did you know in the first 3 weeks of the regular season, this kid went 10-4 playing on 120 ping on Wi-Fi from Toronto? Yeah, there's a reason we call him the Wi-Fi Wizard. The MVP award for NACL is not about being the best player now, but a player that will bring wins to LCS teams in the future. While we're not as confident that Masu is immediately ready for the LCS, the growth he's shown over his rookie split is remarkable. You can see his growing pains this split, moving from Toronto to LA and dropping his average ping by 110. Despite that, his KDA jumped from 3.0 to 4.9, and he won 7 of his next 8 games. If he continues this trajectory, we have no doubt he will be LCS ready in 2024. The biggest compliment we can give Masu is his unique ability to visualize plays before they happen. He sees angles and steps up to them in ways that most other ADCs in the league will not, especially in 1v1 and 1v2 situations. On top of that, he showed a proficiency to maximize the output damage capable from his champion, whether on something safe like a Xayah or something aggressive like a Kalista. The fact that he's doing all of this as a rookie is what makes us so excited for his continued development. For these reasons, Masu is one of our most valuable prospects.